Welcome back to Forkcast Weekly. This is episode 5, 33 trending open source projects from this week on GitHub, including a tool that generates full HD videos from a single click. Let's get into it. Your LLM context window is bleeding tokens. Every API call burns money on redundant system prompts and stale conversation history. Headroom is a context optimization layer for LLM applications that sits between your app and the model API. How much of your prompt budget is just noise? It deduplicates, summarizes, and prioritizes content before it ever hits the model, reducing token waste without losing semantic fidelity. 15,000 developers starred it this week alone. The janitor your context window has been waiting for. Keeping up with tech means refreshing Reddit, X, YouTube, Hacker News, and Polymarket a dozen times a day. That is hours you never get back. Last 30 Days is an AI agent skill that researches any topic across 6+ platforms and synthesizes a grounded summary, all without you touching a single feed. Can one agent replace your entire doom-scrolling habit? It cross-references sources, weights recency, and surfaces what actually matters. 28,000 stars say the answer is yes. Most AI agents ship as rigid black boxes. You get whatever the developer decided, and that is where the road ends. Hermes-agent is the open-source agent that grows with you. Skills, plugins, cron jobs, persistent memory, all configurable. What would you build if your agent could learn new capabilities on the fly? Backed by Noose Research with 184,000 stars and 32,000 forks, it runs entirely on your machine, the agent platform that refuses to outgrow you. Your AI coding agent works, but it is slow, not the model, the harness around it. Wasted context, redundant tool calls, no caching strategy. ECC is a performance optimization system purpose-built for agent harnesses. What if your Claude code or cursor session ran 3 times faster without changing the model? It adds skills, instincts, memory, and security layers on top of Claude code, codex, OpenCode, and cursor. 209,000 stars in its debut week. The afterburner your coding agent was missing. AI apps without memory are goldfish. They forget everything the moment the conversation ends. Supermemory is a memory engine, and API built specifically for the AI era. Fast, scalable, and open source. Can persistent memory become a commodity like object storage? It handles embedding, retrieval, and lifecycle management so your app remembers users across sessions without building it from scratch. 26,000 developers have already adopted it as their memory layer. Your AI agent did brilliant work yesterday. Today, it remembers nothing. That amnesia is costing you real productivity. Mempalace is the best benchmarked open-source AI memory system, and it is free. How much smarter would your agent be if it never forgot a single decision you made? It runs persistent cross-session memory with published retrieval benchmarks that beat paid alternatives. 54,000 stars for a project that fixes the single biggest gap in agent architectures. You ask a language model a legitimate technical question, and it refuses. Censorship trained into the weights blocks your workflow. Heretic performs fully automatic censorship removal for language models. No manual jailbreaking, no prompt engineering tricks. Can one tool restore unfiltered access to models you already run locally? It surgically identifies and neutralizes refusal patterns at the weight level. 24,000 developers who want their models to just answer the question. Predicting complex systems usually means stitching together a dozen models and praying the ensemble doesn't overfit. MiroFish is a simple, universal swarm intelligence engine that predicts anything using ensemble methods under the hood. What if one engine could forecast markets, weather, and user behavior with the same architecture? It is concise, general purpose, and already at 65,000 stars. The prediction Swiss Army knife you didn't know existed. Building an AI agent UI from scratch means wiring up React streaming, tool approval dialogues, and state management by hand. Every front-end team is solving the same problem independently. CopilotKit is the front-end stack for agents and generative UI, built for React and Angular. Can one protocol eliminate the months of boilerplate between your agent and your UI? They created the AGUI protocol, a standard for agent-to-interface communication that slots into existing apps. 33,000 stars. The missing standard that makes agent UIs finally composable. You write a web scraper on Friday. By Monday, the site changed a class name and everything is broken. Scrapling is an adaptive web scraping framework that handles everything from a single request to full browser automation. What if your scraper survived DOM changes without you touching a single selector? Its smart element detection uses structural fingerprinting instead of brittle CSS paths, and it automatically falls back through strategies until it gets the data. 61,000 developers who are done rewriting scrapers. Your team uses Claude Code, another developer prefers Codex, and someone else swears by Cursor. 3 different AI coding tools, 3 different setup processes for the same engineering workflow. The Compound Engineering plugin is an official plugin that standardizes engineering tooling across Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, and more. How much time vanishes when every coding agent speaks a different plugin protocol? One plugin, one configuration, every major AI coding assistant. 20,000 developers already unified their stack. Every AI platform builds its own extension mechanism from scratch. OpenAI published their official plugin framework as a reference for connecting external tools and APIs to assistants. What does the company that defined the category think plugin architecture should look like? It defines a manifest format, an open API-based tool specification, and a runtime for executing plugin calls. Just over 1,600 stars, but the spec-kit documents is already powering millions of agent interactions daily. You start a new feature. 3 days in, you realize you built the wrong thing because the spec was vague and nobody validated it. Spec-kit is GitHub's official toolkit for spec-driven development. It helps you define what to build before you write a single line of code. Can a structured spec eliminate entire categories of wasted engineering hours? It generates specification templates, validates implementations against the spec, and enforces consistency across your code base. 109,000 stars from developers tired of building the wrong thing. Your AI agent is brilliant at reasoning but completely blind to the live internet. It cannot read a tweet, browse a Reddit thread, or check a news article without you copy-pasting. Agent Reach gives AI agents eyes to see the entire internet. It reads and searches Twitter, Reddit, and web pages natively. What happens when your agent can research in real time instead of relying on stale training data? 22,000 stars for a tool that closes the biggest perception gap in agent architectures. Your AI coding agent generates functional code, but it looks like a developer's first CSS attempt circa 2006. Impeccable is a design language that makes your AI harness output look better. It defines visual standards specifically for AI-generated interfaces. Can a design system turn AI code from ugly but works to production ready? It provides typography scales, spacing tokens, and component patterns that AI models can reliably reproduce. 35,000 developers who want their AI output to ship without a designer rescue mission. Building a team of domain-specific AI agents means handcrafting each agent's role, tools, and collaboration rules. Harness is a meta-skill that designs those agent teams for you. It defines specialized agents and orchestrates how they work together. What if the agent that builds your agents was smarter than you at team composition? It analyzes the problem domain and outputs a complete team specification with defined roles, shared memory, and handoff protocols. 6,000 stars for a tool that automates the hardest part of multi-agent systems. Creating a high-quality short video takes hours of scripting, recording, editing, and rendering. Or it used to. MoneyPrinterTurbo generates HD short videos with a single click using AI large language models. Can an entire video production pipeline fit behind one button? It handles script generation, AI voiceover, scene composition, and final render, the full pipeline automated end-to-end. 80,000 stars. Your video content strategy just got compressed into a single command. Hermes-agent is one of the most capable open-source AI agents, but until now it was locked to the terminal. Hermes-webui brings the full Hermes experience to your browser and your phone. What changes when you can manage skills, run tools, and chat with your agent from any device? It is self-hosted, so your data stays yours, with a clean chat interface and full tool execution from a mobile-friendly web app. 14,000 stars in its debut week. Google's Notebook. LM is genuinely useful for document Q&A, but it is proprietary, cloud-only, and you cannot customize it. Open Notebook is a fully open-source implementation of Notebook LM with more flexibility and features. What would you build if you owned the entire document intelligence pipeline? It supports RAG-powered queries across your documents, runs locally or on your server, and accepts any document format you throw at it. 26,000 developers who chose Open Overlocked. Investigating a security incident or tracing a data lineage through a system means clicking through a dozen dashboards in sequence. Flowsint is a visual platform for graph-based investigation. You build investigation pipelines as connected nodes, not linear scripts. How much faster is threat hunting when you can see every relationship at once? It is extensible, so you plug in your own data sources and analysis nodes. 5,600 stars for a tool that turns investigation from a checklist into a map. Every text-to-speech system on the market requires tokenizers and phoneme dictionaries per language. That bloat adds latency and limits creative voice design. VoxCPM is a tokenizer-free TTS system for multilingual speech generation. No phonemes, no language-specific pre-processing. What happens when you remove the tokenizer bottleneck from speech synthesis? It generates natural speech across languages from raw text and supports creative voice design without retraining. 27,000 stars for the cleanest TTS architecture in open source. Talking to an LLM through a text box feels archaic in 2026. Open-LLM-VTuber lets you talk to any LLM hands-free with real voice interaction, voice interruption handling, and a lived avatar that responds visually. Can a fully voiced, animated AI companion run entirely on open-source software? It streams audio both directions, handles interruptions gracefully mid-sentence, and renders a responsive avatar that syncs to speech. 10,000 stars for making AI conversation feel like talking to a person. Your project folder has PDFs, Word docs, Excel sheets, PowerPoint decks, HTML pages, and images, and you need all of it as clean markdown for your AI pipeline. Converting each format individually is a full afternoon of suffering. Markitdown is a Python tool from Microsoft that converts files and Office documents to Markdown. Can one library replace a dozen format-specific converters? It handles PDF, docx, pptx, xlsx, images, HTML, CSV, JSON, XML, and zip through a single API. 146,000 stars. The universal document, key your AI pipeline was missing. Your security scanning setup is a mess. One tool for container vulnerabilities, another for infrastructure as code misconfigurations, a third for secret detection, and something else entirely for dependency scanning. Trivy is the unified scanner that does all of it. How many security tools can you retire with one replacement? It finds vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, secrets, and generates SBOMs across containers, Kubernetes, code repos, and cloud environments. 36,000 stars from teams who consolidated their entire security stack into a single binary. You have thousands of PDFs and scanned images that contain valuable data, but every OCR API charges per page and locks you into a cloud dependency. PaddleOCR turns any PDF or image document into structured data for your AI pipeline, and it runs on your hardware. What if OCR was a commodity you could deploy anywhere? It supports over 80 languages, handles complex layouts, tables, and handwritten text, and outputs clean structured JSON. 81,000 stars. The OCR engine that treats document understanding as a solved problem. You use 5 different AI services daily, and they all exist in isolation. Your writing assistant does not talk to your research agent, and neither one knows about your coding workflow. Personal AI infrastructure is an agentic AI framework for magnifying human capabilities by connecting every AI service you use into a unified personal workflow. Can your AI tools become greater than the sum of their parts? It orchestrates agents across platforms with shared context and goal tracking. 15,000 developers building their own AI command center. Training robots in the real world is slow, expensive, and sometimes dangerous. Simulation is the answer, but building world models requires massive compute and proprietary datasets. NVIDIA Cosmos is an open platform of world models, datasets, and tools that enables physical AI development. What happens when world-class simulation becomes open source? It provides pre-trained models for generating synthetic training data, physics simulation, and environment modeling. Nearly 10,000 stars for the platform that might accelerate robotics by a decade. Learning algorithmic trading means piecing together scattered blog posts, outdated forum threads, and academic papers with no executable code. This repo is the complete code companion for machine learning for algorithmic trading, 2nd edition. Can one repository take you from zero to backtesting your first ML strategy? It covers backtesting frameworks, reinforcement learning for portfolio management, and NLP applied to financial filings, all with runnable Jupyter notebooks. 19,000 stars from developers who turned theory into trading algorithms. You feed a PDF into your AI pipeline and get back garbled text with broken tables and hallucinated numbers. PDF parsing has been a dumpster fire for decades. Open data. Loader-PDF is a parser purpose-built for AI-ready data. It automates PDF accessibility and outputs clean, structured content. How much training data is locked inside PDFs your current pipeline cannot read? It handles complex layouts, embedded tables, and multi-column documents while preserving reading order. 24,000 stars. the PDF parser that finally speaks AI. If you have ever read GitHub's documentation and thought that explanation could be clearer, you can fix it yourself. The entire docs.github.com site is open source, living in this repository. Can a community of 20,000 developers maintain the documentation for the world's largest code host? It covers everything from actions and code spaces to API references and security features, all accepting pull requests from anyone. 20,000 stars for documentation that belongs to the people who use it. Most front-end frameworks ship a runtime to the browser. Your users download kilobytes or megabytes of framework code before your app even renders. Svelte is a compiler that shifts that work to build time, outputting vanilla JavaScript with zero runtime overhead. What if your framework added nothing to your bundle size? It compiles components into surgical DOM updates with no virtual DOM diffing in between. 87,000 stars from developers who ship faster websites by shipping less code. Over 30% of the web runs behind nginx, and the official open-source repository is where that engine lives. It is a high-performance HTTP server, reverse proxy, and IMAP/POP3 proxy written in C. Can a 20-year-old code base still dominate modern infrastructure? It handles hundreds of thousands of concurrent connections on minimal hardware, powers Kubernetes ingress, and serves as the backbone for countless CDN and API gateway deployments. 31,000 stars for the quiet workhorse of the internet. Preparing for a software engineering interview at a top tech company without structure is like training for a marathon by jogging randomly. Coding interview. University is a complete computer science study plan covering algorithms, data structures, system design, and behavioral preparation. Can a single curated curriculum replace years of scattered self-study? It maps out every topic you need with linked resources, practice problems, and a recommended timeline measured in months, not years. 351,000 stars. The study plan that launched 10,000 engineering careers. That's all 33 projects from Forkcast Weekly Episode 5. Every GitHub link is in the description. Grab anything that caught your eye. Subscribe, and you will never miss the next trending breakout repo on Forkcast.